Hey, everybody. We are back for another grad interview, and I get to introduce Kelly to you. Kelly is one of our Kelly's one of our grads, and you, I mean, you're one of our incredible grads. You are one of the
Oh,
grads that just make Pretty Focus so special and make the community what it is. And I think
oh,
we have a really great community, really great supportive, where people are just lovely. That's what everybody just tells us, that they're like, this is just a lovely place to be. The people are so genuinely nice
yes.
and wonderful and helpful. And that is in part because of people like you, Kelly.
Well, thank
And
you.
I'm so excited to talk to you tonight, where we've kind of talked on, offline a little bit, but now it's
Yes.
just me and you.
Thank you. I'm excited.
And we get to talk. So, Kelly, I know a little bit about, your story before Pretty Focused and everything, but I want you to tell that to everybody else who doesn't know. What like what what was life before Pretty Focused? Let's rewind and talk about it.
Okay. So I have been retired from the LA Unified School District for about 3 years. I was an instructional aide for about 17 years. And within that 17 years, I was actually a school librarian for like 14 of those months until the district went through a reorganization. And they offered me a position out in Malibu, which is like an hour and a half drive. And I said, no, no, thank you. Um,
Bougie.
yeah, bougie. And oh, yes. And there was a ocean view. And I said, no, thank you. You can take the view. No.
Mm,
If anybody knows about California traffic, they would totally understand.
yeah.
Uh, that was not a drive I wanted to do, and I was not interested. So I took a year off. And I knew my son was going to college and going to go away. So I bought a camera and started playing around with my camera. And then I found out that they needed an instructional aide back at the school. So I went back and finished my 17 years. And I got
Okay.
out right before COVID.
Oh, goodness. Good for
Goodness,
you.
right.
Woo,
that was
woo.
that was good timing, very good timing.
Yeah. So why the camera? Why was the camera the thing that you decided to pick up?
I'd always been interested in photography. My dad was a amateur photographer. I got a
Mhm.
camera for my high school graduation, but I never took it. Life happened, and I never took it serious enough. And then I knew I was going to have empty nest syndrome when my son, my youngest of three, went
Mhm.
away to school, and I wanted to have a hobby in place, something that was going to keep my mind off of him leaving me.
Sure.
So
Why?
I know. I was like, oh, why do they
Don't
have to
you
do
love
that?
me?
Why do my children have to leave? So so I did a 365, a self-portrait 365. So I got to understand me. I understood a little bit about the camera, never went to manual mode,
Okay.
but I learned a lot, and
Yeah.
I really loved it. So
Was that with Redonda? Was that the same thing Redonda did? Because
I know
Redonda did. Oh, go ahead.
I know she's also done a 365. I don't know if it was a self-portrait 365, but I do
Oh, it
know
was a
she did.
self-portrait.
I did a
Got it.
self-portrait. So I did
It's
a
a self-portrait.
self-portrait every day for a year.
Wow.
And I just had fun with it. I bought wigs and I did all kinds of crazy things, and it was fun. I learned a lot about myself, and I learned how to edit somewhat. Um, so
Wow, that's so
I
cool.
was a little comfortable coming in, but not a lot.
There is something to be said about practicing that craft every day, whether you're on
Yeah.
manual or not. You're
Yes.
learning about composition, you're learning about so many other things too,
Yeah.
and editing. So there's something to be said. So if you guys are wondering, where do I start? What do I do? Just pick it up every day.
But don't expect you to take those picture perfect pictures right out of the box, because that's what I thought was going to happen. I took my camera, it was a Rebel. I took it out of the box, and I could not understand why I wasn't taking geographic, whatever that magazine is,
Yeah. Oh, National
photos.
Geographic. Oh,
Thank you, National Geographic photos. I was like, what? So,
That's
and
so funny.
and then cell phones came out and their cameras were so good. And so
Mhm.
I put my big girl camera away for a long time and just
Oh.
played with my cell phone for the longest time
Yeah.
because that was
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. Because it's just there's no SD card that you have to
Nope.
plug into the computer or anything, and it's
Nope.
right there. So
Mobile Lightroom is right on my phone,
wonderful.
so it was easy peasy. But I was learning at the same time with composition and
Okay.
all of that. So, and I feel like I'm kind of arty. I like that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it kind of, I'm not gonna say it comes easy, but it's comfortable. Let's put it that way.
Sure. Yeah. You're creative. You're a
I think
creative
so. I
soul where
try
it
to be.
just
Yes.
I can tell. Yes, you are.
I try. I do try.
Yeah. So where did Pretty Focus come from? Like, what were you doing that you even heard about it?
That's such a great story. I love that story. So the year, 2 years before I actually joined, which was 2022, I had actually thought about joining two other. I had two other courses that I was looking into,
Mhm.
and but something wasn't sitting right with me, and it
Hmm.
was mainly because you had to go out and sell yourself. And I am not that person. I am just not that person.
Yeah.
And I actually met Redonda through a common person that we followed on Instagram. I didn't know who she was or anything, but I started following her on Instagram and I saw her food photography and I was like, oh, are you a food photographer? And she said, yeah, and I'm pretty focused. And so for 2 years, I was going back and forth and I decided, okay, that year that I joined was the year that I said, you either do something or just forget about it. Stop lamenting about it. Just do it and
Just make a decision.
make a decision. And when I started, I joined the roadmap.
Mhm.
And when I found out that there was a buyer's club, I said, that's it. That had made my decision for me.
Wow.
And then I had to run it past my husband that this was not a pyramid scheme. you know
I know.
I know
I know.
that's a big one. It is not a pyramid scheme, I promise.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder. Okay, I wonder what
I
makes
don't know
people think
what
that.
I don't know.
Because
Because
there's
maybe
no photography course pyramid scheme ever out
no,
there.
no.
Not that I've ever heard from. So I wonder why people have that. I've heard that before.
Oh,
So I wonder
yes.
what the perception is. I need to know this.
It would be if anybody can, enlighten us, that
Shed
would be
light.
awesome.
Yes, enlighten
Shed
us.
light.
Yeah, because yeah, please.
I think because there's just so many scammers out there on the internet, and this is an
Yeah,
internet-based
sure.
business, so that's
Well,
the only thing I can think of.
when you hear like stats like 24% make six figures and you hear we connect you with buyers, and when you hear like, oh, there's coaching and we coach you all the way through, those things all sound too good to be true.
And what are we always
It
told? If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Didn't we
yeah.
all grow? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and so you hear that. I mean, because I've joined photography courses and there's no coaching. There's a Facebook group that people get to be in,
yeah,
and sometimes they are not nice to you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
but or if you want coaching, you've got to pay
yeah,
significantly for it.
yeah,
Or what kind of coaching is it? Um, is it really personalized? Is it really going to help you meet your goals? And then
right.
because then you have like, I understand that there's courses out there and their goal is to help you take beautiful photos. Our goal is one step further than that, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't just end with taking great photos. And so all of our coaching is really not just around how to take great photos. It's keeping in mind that you're going to be connected with clients as soon as you graduate. And so you really want to be ready as soon as you
absolutely.
graduate.
Absolutely.
Because if you go to those other courses, right? And then you're like, well, then I got to pitch myself. So then it's like, okay, you're done with this course. And then you've got like what, a couple of months or a couple of weeks, like, I don't know how long it would take.
I don't even
4
know.
months
Yeah.
of pitching back and forth. And are you still practicing? And are you keeping up your craft? Are you,
portfolios, all of it. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is within within minutes for you. It was within 30 minutes.
It was.
So
that was mind blowing.
Are you glad that you had all the coaching that you did?
That coaching is worth the price of admission. It just is. I mean, the coaches are thorough. They're honest. And if you follow their feedback, you will grow. Mm-hmm. And I tell you what else I did. I read everybody's, all the other students' feedback. I read their feedback as well, because I may or may not have, come up to a situation where I needed to know that. So I was getting extra coaching without even.
That's incredible.
Really. Yeah.
That's so smart.
So I read everybody else's feedback and I took notes. I have notebooks of notes.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
Yeah, it's worth everything. Wow.
I would love to see that.
In my notebooks?
I want to see. I just want to see all that you wrote down, because I just to see what you saw was valuable and stuff,
It's all valuable. There is not, in fact, I think either today or yesterday, I went into the Pretty Focused course and somebody had said something and I was like, oh, I like that, so I'm still learning, you have to keep learning. You have to keep growing, because everybody else is too. So yeah, you have to keep on top of all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you're going through the course, can you tell us a little bit about how long it took you and what were some obstacles that you faced?
So it took me 11 months to get through the course, but that was no choice of my own. We had a garage fire in November 1st, that destroyed our garage, our laundry room, and 2 rooms above the garage. And we lost our cars. Well, I lost my car. My husband had a lot of fire damage to that. And I was right in the middle of working on my portfolio. So when the firemen were cleaning up, we were talking to the fire chief, and he says, this is not even the worst part of the fire. The worst part of the fire is the people, excuse me, I didn't think I was going to be upset about this. They said that because we have a Citizen app, I don't know if you're familiar with the Citizen app, and it tells you just kind of like what's all happening in your area.
Yeah.
Basically, all of Los Angeles knows that you've had a fire, and you have to worry about people coming into your house and
I have
basically robbing you. So we had no electricity except for the kitchen. We had no gas. We had no water. And we stayed in that house for 2 weeks until the mitigation company came and, packed us out, and, so they can clean everything.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that was that. So we had to find a place to live. We had to find places to shower. We had to find places to eat. And
for how long was that? You said it was 2 weeks you lived in a house like that?
2 weeks we lived in a house like that.
I guess it was safe.
The fire that we got a clearance, but it smelled. I mean, it was.
Oh my gosh.
It was fire damage. There was walls that were burnt down, and just it was bad.
Oh, it was bad. I didn't know you had to live in the house like that for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks. Yeah. So I was showering wherever. I was showering at my gym, calling my friends, and it was a very humbling experience. Yeah. But I didn't lose as much as my husband did. My husband lost everything in the garage. 30 years worth of tools, specialized tools, you name it.
That hurts my
Yeah,
heart for him.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Devastating.
He's,
It's lost. Fires.
it's gone. It is. It really is.
Wow.
So after we've got a great little place to stay, and we've got great landlords, and they're letting us stay as long as we need to. And I needed to take I think it took about maybe 3 or 4 weeks off because, well, first of all, we didn't have any place to live. But it's trauma. I mean, it is nothing short of living through a trauma. And
Absolutely.
I had to write to Lindsay and say, I can't, I have to take a break on the portfolio because I
Absolutely.
just, the house came first at that point, you know? And then even when I came back, I didn't start on my portfolio right away. I asked if I could just do a couple of shoots, just regular shoots, just to get my brain back into it. I know,
and you're so sweet. I remember you messaged me and you're like, can I just do? I'm like, you can do whatever you want. Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
So I think I did 1 or 2 just simple shoots just to get my brain back in the game. And, but it still took me a while. I just wasn't feeling it. There was just so many other things that were happening, but, I wanted this. This was something that I wanted really bad. So in between, going and picking out carpet and flooring and kitchen cabinets and designing a kitchen and the whole 9 yards, I worked on that portfolio and I graduated.
And we have a screen capture, a video recording of when you graduated and the tears.
Oh my gosh, my ugly cry.
Not ugly at all. Like we were all there right with you. Oh my gosh. It was just the sweetest thing because it was such victory.
It was a relief. There was such a weight off of me because I've not worked at something this hard before, and I just wanted it so bad. I knew that this is what I wanted. And after meeting all of you guys when I went to Arizona for your 5-year celebration, and meeting other students, I'm like, these are my people. This is, somebody who loves food as much as I do, and, shooting it as much as I do. I said, these are my people,
That meet and greet was so special, wasn't it?
Oh, it was awesome. And just to physically meet people in real life. Yeah. And it just made everything real. And you can hear, like, when you get feedback, you can hear the coaches' voices. And it was really special. I was really glad I did it. And it solidified the decision that I had made to join Pretty Focus.
Wow.
For me. Yeah. So this has been my saving grace. Yeah.
Makes me so happy to hear. It makes me so happy. And I have to say, like, I just think so highly and have so much respect for you and the other grads who are going through and putting in the work. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, I am actually going to do this, and I'm going to finish, and I'm going to cross that finish line, and I'm going to get to the other side. And that's really the starting line is what you think that finish line, that's really the starting line, And so I just have so much respect for you, especially with what you went through personally. How easy would that have been just to be like, forget it. I emotionally cannot add one more thing. But when it was time, right? You kept going.
I knew it was time. Yeah. I knew when it was time to go back, because we were settled here. And it was just, I needed it. I needed it for my sanity. I needed it for an escape. It was just something that I needed to get me through that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you finally graduated.
I graduated. Yes.
Victory. What happened next?
Well, because I can't ever do anything normal. And through all of this process, through the Pretty Focus process and the fire, I've learned to start standing up for myself and really doing what I need, asking for what I need to make me successful, right? So
Good.
it was okay to announce me in the roadmap and in the regular course group,
Yeah.
but again, because of everything that I was going through, I needed 10 days, just 10 days to get the business part going, because I couldn't do that and the portfolio at the same time. So I went and set up all the business, everything, you know, my billing, my LLC, all of that. And then I was announced in the Buyers Club. And I was at my
I'm glad you
so it
gave
was
yourself time. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
needed to. I just needed to. Because I know me, I know how much I can handle, and that's what I needed. And so I
yeah.
asked for it, and the worst that could happen is no, and I would have dealt with it, but everybody's so easygoing. It's just like
You can announce whenever you want to, whatever. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And I know it was on a Wednesday because we go to visit my mother-in-law, who's 92, and she lives in the city, and every Wednesday we go. And she's been one of my biggest supporters. She also thought this was too good to be true. She wasn't sure about it until after I
That's
graduated.
nice, honey.
I know,
Do that.
you're happy, you know, it's
Okay.
okay. So the day we got there, I had my phone and I said, Mom, today's the day that I get announced in the Buyers Club. And so I was just kind of, you know, explaining to her what that meant. And she had gone off to do something. And I got an email, and it was my first client within 30 minutes. And it's a blogger that I actually follow just because I make her recipes. Like, how cool is that?
Like,
Like,
that was purely coincidence.
Pure coincidence. I don't even think she even knows that I was a follower, but I've made her recipes and I follow
You're
her.
like, oh my gosh, I love you.
And
she wants to work for me.
So here I am, my first, and it was a super easy, you know, recipe. It got my feet wet, and yeah, just do it scared. That's what I say all the time. Just do it scared.
Oof.
Do it scared. I'm scared
Yes.
all the time.
That is, it feels
But-
easier said than done. But you're right.
If I'm going to say, if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I don't like change. Learning new things is I'm not a spring chicken. So I'm learning all these new things, and I'm doing it scared, and it turns out it's okay. And if it doesn't work out, it's okay too. And I'm learning that, and it's all amazing.
Yeah, I think we get maybe people who are wanting to join, they haven't joined yet. There's like this analysis paralysis of you just kind of get stuck in worst case scenario. Actually, you don't even know what worst case scenario.
You don't even know.
That's because I say that because that's me, because I will catastrophize things. And you know, these are conversations I'm having with my boys, and I'm like, you cannot make a wrong decision here. And I think sometimes you just need to be reminded, like, what's the worst that can happen if you join this? What's like the worst? I don't know. You don't like it and you ask for a refund?
In 30, yeah, that's it.
Like,
exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So when you take a step back and like, yeah. Do you
go ahead.
No, do you wish you would have joined sooner, or do you feel like you joined at the right time?
Yes and no. Yes, I wish I would have joined a few years, you know, earlier, but I believe things happen for a reason. And the time that I joined was the time that I needed.
Yeah.
So I have no regrets. I have absolutely no regrets whatsoever.
Oh, I love that.
I'm having the time. I'm having the time of my life right now.
Yeah. And so how has it gone since your first client within 30 minutes? When did you say that was? How long ago was that?
I graduated 4 months ago.
4 months, right.
So it was 4 months.
Okay. How has business been for you the last 4 months? And are you doing recreations or exclusives?
I'm doing recreations.
Okay.
I am taking the development
Yeah.
course.
I hear you're killing it.
I'm trying, but
You are.
I'm busy with work, and it just has to kind of be put on the back burner. But
Oh,
what a
good
terrible problem to
problems.
have,
I
right?
know, I know.
Problems,
I'm so
problems, right?
sorry.
So, so that's really fun. So I think when you join, summer can be, because bloggers take some time off. It happened to be spring, so it was a little not super slow, but I got a lot of inquiries. But again, that's all learning. That's all learning how to answer people. Getting your pricing sheet together. So I was learning as I was going. So that little bit of time that I had off was perfect for me because I
Good.
needed that time to just learn and grow and do and whatever. But then things started picking up, and right now I have 3 regular clients that I love.
Wow.
I love them. They give me all the fun stuff to shoot. And
Those are the best clients.
I know. And I'm doing about 2 a week, 1.5 to 2 a week, depending on when I shoot and when I invoice. And that's perfect for me. I mean, I physically can't do more than that right now. Maybe, a few months when I'm in the house and other things kind of change. But
Yeah.
I'm happy doing 2 a week right now. That's what I can handle.
Yeah.
And success is measured in so many different ways. And for me, this is a success that I wanted 2 a week, and I'm doing 2 a week.
You got it. I love that so much, that success for you is this 2 a week.
Yeah.
And that's you've met your goal.
I've met my goal.
And you're doing it. And then you get back into your house, which is great because you are doing it in a rental, like
in a rental,
and you're out
all
of your
my props are on the floor, and it's just a mess. But yeah,
but you're doing it despite everything that's happened, the devastation that's happened in the last year for you. You are doing it.
I'm doing it.
So I'm so proud of you, and I'm
you.
just seriously have so much respect for you and your hard work and your ability to overcome with everything. And I'm so glad to hear that, the 2 like you just want the 2 clients. I love hearing that. I think some people, when we ask them if they want to do grad interviews, they're like, well, I'm not making 6 figures. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I want to talk to you. You know what I mean? I'm like, that is not what our goal is to help women create thriving businesses.
Yes. And I believe in paying it forward. Yes, absolutely. And I believe wholeheartedly to pay it forward, because even though I did the hard work, there were many, many people that I've met and have helped me along the way and are still helping me along the way. And it's amazing. I've made friends for life.
I love that.
I don't know what I would do sometimes if I have questions, and I can go to these people and we talk about it and problem solve. And there's just so much success to go around. It would be silly not to be able to share the wealth.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
I agree.
There's just so much to go around, and
And why wouldn't you want something good for somebody else?
Absolutely.
Even if you don't know them, like, why wouldn't you want that? So yes.
Yeah. Fabiana.
We love you.
I love Fabiana. We're planning on meeting sometime because she's an inspiration. And I had to follow her. She had her grad interview last month. I was like, oh my God, I have to follow Fabiana? Am I crazy? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
that
funny.
Oh my goodness gracious. We just have so many wonderful people who are part of Pretty Focused. So
I love it. It is an amazing experience. And I know everybody says it because I've watched every single grad interview. The community is everything. It's everything. And again,
Yeah.
worth its weight in gold,
Yeah.
worth the price of admission, and
Yeah.
I wish I could get into the Pretty Focused course more. I try to get in there every now and again because I love to see the up and coming students and what they're doing, and um, I want to cheer them on as well. I just
Yeah.
don't get in there as much as I'd like to
Well, you're
anymore.
busy working
I'm busy working.
and doing life. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you guys who are watching, if you have any questions you want to ask Kelly, sorry, I need to see that. Make sure that you put them in the comments. Look at this. Oh, Lenore Jinx. Kelly has the biggest heart and has the kindest things to say to everyone. She's such an inspiration and her work is freaking out of this world. Fabiana.
Fabiana, I love you too. I love it.
Oh,
Okay. I've realized during this journey that I'm a little competitive, that I didn't know I was competitive. And I'm learning so much about blogging and what it takes to rank and all of that. And I want to get my clients that #1 photo. It's important to me. And
wow. They are so lucky to have you.
And I'm not going to lie, when I Google a picture or a recipe and I see my image, it's never going to get old. It's just, I'm sorry.
I know, it's true.
It is a kick in the pants.
Yes. Yeah.
So I really want my clients to thrive and do well, and I want them to know that they have that they chose right when they chose me. For a recreation. I want them to know that I've got their backs.
That is great.
Yeah.
That is gold too, because we want clients to know that, this is like, we're here to serve. This is a service-based industry.
Yes. Yeah.
And somebody on our comments on Instagram or on our ads posted this, and she was like, you mean I would have to make the recipe, photograph it, do the dishes, and somebody else gets all the credit? It's like,
I don't even care.
We could hear the snarkiness, and I was like, no, we get to.
Yeah. And I have the satisfaction of knowing that I did it. I don't need anybody else to know that. I did it. And I'm totally okay with not, because I've had that, well, how do people know that that's you? I'm like, they don't know it's me. And I'm okay with that. I know I did it. It has to come from you, from inside you.
What was your goal? What is your goal? To work with 2 clients a week? You met your goal, right? I'm like, if you want to be a blogger, go be a blogger. If you want the credit, go for it.
Go for it.
But it's like, no. We don't have to do that. No, we get to do that, and we get to serve other people. That is a huge mindset shift.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that when you as the photographer, you have that mindset shift of, I get to serve other people. Mm-hmm. How can I serve you? And you're like, I want to be the best for my clients.
Yeah.
You can't help but do well.
Right.
Because people want that on their team. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that is exactly who, like, a business owner wants working for them, is somebody who is like, I am going to do everything I can to help you and your business. And so we are like, I think it's this really cool circle where we have like our coaches helping students, to graduate, and then the grads help bloggers. And it's just like this women helping women and men. We got some men in there too.
Yeah, so we do have men. Yes, absolutely.
All around it. It's just like this incredible ecosystem.
Symbiotic. It's all symbiotic.
Yeah. And no, are people perfect?
No.
People are not perfect, but what matters is my heart and my intentions and how I treat people.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. At the end of the day, it's like how you served, and did you serve well?
Right. And I've never been a business owner. This is my very first business, and I want to be successful at it.
Yeah.
And have I made mistakes? Yep. But I just put on my big girl pants and move on, learn from it, and move on. And
Man,
that's it.
we've,
It's
I
do it
share my list
scared.
of I can share my list of mistakes with you, but you know
Yeah.
what? I learned from them,
Yeah.
and that's what got me here. You
And
know,
look at you. I mean,
like I
you
could
have
have
this.
completely stayed flat on my face.
Yeah. Yeah. But
You
you
know,
can't, but you trudge on, and you do it,
yeah,
because I think it's a big difference when you want something so bad.
yeah,
I want to be successful. I've been a mom and a wife, and I've, all that, but I really want to be successful at this. I
yeah.
really do. And I'm going to do what it takes to be successful
Yeah, I
at
love
it
that.
and have fun at the same time. I don't want it. I
Yeah.
don't want it to be work. I can go work at Macy's and, for a job. I don't want it to job. I want to thrive in this
I love
and have
that.
fun.
So what was your thing? Because we hear lots of different reasons why people join, and they're, I'm looking for freedom, I'm looking for financial stability, I'm looking for purpose. Where do you think you fit?
Purpose.
Mm.
So I watched my parents decline very fast in their retirement years, and it was not pretty. And I swore that that was not going to be me. I said,
Mm.
I am not going to sit on a couch and eat myself to death and and not exercise my brain. I've got a lot of living left to do, and my dad had Alzheimer's,
Mm.
and I refused to get Alzheimer's. So
Yeah.
doing this and is just firing those synapses, and I just don't want to grow old. I want to
Right.
do something, and it's to have purpose.
Yeah, I
You
love
know,
that. Yeah,
so
that's so good.
yeah.
That's so good. What about, I want to know from people in the comments, because we've got people who are watching. We've got grads, we've got students, we've got, people who are in the roadmap who haven't joined yet. I would like to invite you guys to be a part of the conversation, and like, what is it for you? What was it for you? Was it needing, you know, freedom? Because we hear
Mhm.
moms who are like, I have to be at home when my kids are sick. Like I can't,
Yeah.
I've never had to experience the stress
Oh,
of having a sick kid
and you
and
feel guilty,
PTO.
and you have to feel guilty calling in and saying, "Hey, my kid's sick. He's running 104 and puking," and you have to feel guilty about staying home with him. That's not right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little
So
bit backwards, right?
it is.
Um,
Yeah.
so I want to hear from you guys. What was it for you? Was
Yeah.
it freedom? Was it like financial stability? Is it just like, I want to be like Kelly and I want the purpose? Like for me, it was a little bit of those things, but for me, starting to work for food bloggers was like, it was purpose.
Yeah.
Um, it was purpose, and it was, um, I just remember feeling so fulfilled after I photographed a veggie burger. It was like a veggie burger. Wasn't very good. I was out on my back patio. Like it was way before styling boards.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was terrible. Like it was terrible. And I had a huge piece of onion hanging out of it. Um, but I was like, I was made for this. This is what I was made for. This random, so random. So,
It's a great way to
um,
get to let your creative side come out.
yeah, it
It really
is. It's
is.
so important. Like, so Tawny said she's a new grad, and
I
she
know.
said,
Congratulations.
yes, a way to be creative.
Mhm.
Fabiana's was purpose.
Oh, great.
And how cool. If you guys didn't watch Fabiana's interview
Oh,
last week or last
watch
month,
it.
make sure you watch it. It was so good.
She even
And
lit a fire under me.
oh, me
Even
too.
I wanted to. I mean, I was like, I want to get it.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Yes, it was great. And people
She's
are
a
going to
great.
feel this way after this interview too, Kelly, just so you
Oh,
know.
thank you. I
they're
appreciate
going to
that. Thank
they're
you.
going to feel encouraged and like, okay, Kelly, like Kelly's on my side. Like I've got people in my community like Kelly. I think that's why it's so good. Like since we can't be together all the time, and like
Yeah.
and just hug each other.
Yes.
Like if we can just see and we can just talk and we can just be like, okay, this is real. These are real people and they're doing the same thing that I'm doing. And if she can do it and I can do it. And so I hope that whether you're a student or a grad or you're in the roadmap, you're like, this is something I am part of.
I say just do it and do it scared.
Yeah.
I say that I'm going to get a shirt that says it. Do it scared. You
Lenore,
don't have to know.
Sorry, so she's back there dancing. I was like, get on that. We need a pretty focus shirt that says "Do it scared,"
do
right?
it scared, and you don't have to know everything to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't. You just have to be open and be receptive and learn from everything that's going on in that group, in the course.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. For Erin, I love Erin. She said it was independence, working on her personal goals, and just when she wants, where she wants.
Yeah, it's great. I have obligations. I have certain obligations, and this allows me. Nothing gets in the way of my obligations. I get to keep those obligations, and I don't have to worry. I don't have to stop them or, excuse myself from them or anything.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of freedom.
Absolutely. It is.
Which I think is what we all want as moms and wives.
Yeah.
To do the things that we want to do.
Yep. I love what Lenore just had up, what Fabiana just said, that when she needs a push to do better, she looks at
out. Oh,
Fabiana.
There's so many. Everybody is so good, and 20 years ago, I would have been really intimidated by everything. And now it just inspires me.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I'm growing as a person because I get inspired and I love other people's work. I love to see what they're doing. I love it. And I love
inspired. Those are your two choices.
There you go. Yeah.
You can be intimidated or you can be inspired. So what is it that you're going to be? I love Stephanie talks about in conversations she and I had. I love her attitude because, she would see a blogger who was like at, when she was, smaller and just started, she would hear bloggers be like at 2 million, 10 million. And instead of being like, oh, yeah, I'm never going to get there. She was like, it is possible. It's possible. And I'm going to get there too. And I just always loved it when we would have that conversation. It was multiple times that we would go back to that because I just needed that pick me up of just like, it's possible. You can be intimidated or you can see be inspired and to see what's possible. And if they're doing it, that doesn't
What's stopping you?
You can. That just means you can do it too.
What does that person have over you? I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's just like you said. It's a mind shift in how you think about things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I choose to be inspired, and you get to be just like I said around like-minded people. So I don't know. There's just nothing more great than that.
Yeah, I love
it. To surround yourself with people who love it as much as you do.
Yeah. I love that. I was talking about this on Amy's interview, and it was like, I don't want to just have like a photography course with another Facebook group. I don't even want or community. I don't want to just stop at community.
Yeah.
Like I want a movement. And I feel like you guys in your excitement, and it's like the movement isn't like we're food photographers. The movement is like we're doing this together, and you're just a light. I feel like it's so much more than just a community where you learned how to do photography.
Yeah.
And so you guys are creating this this movement of excitement and buzz because
people don't know it's a thing. That's what's so funny. People do not know that this is a thing, and they're like, what? And then when you tell them that you're a food photographer and then they pull out their phone, well, this was my dinner from last night. It's great.
I love taking pictures of my
I
dinner.
like to,
Cool.
right? Yeah. And, you know what? You have to fight the imposter syndrome every now and again. But
But
sometimes I just have to kick
intimidated or
myself.
inspired, right?
That's it. That's it. Yeah. I know when I was working on my portfolio, I was in a grocery store and I was picking out all the fruit because, you know, you got to pick the best fruit. So, you know, I'm just touching everything and squeezing and blah, blah, blah. And the guy came over and says, "Can I help you find something?" I said, "No, I'm a food photographer and I'm just looking for the perfect fruit." And I said, "Oh my God, did I just say that?"
Just
That was the
blurt
first, and I'm a food photographer and no, I need the perfect. And I said, "Oh my God," that's the first time that I actually heard myself say that. I was like, imposter syndrome, imposter.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. But now
How
I
did
get
you
to,
finish that? How did you finish that conversation with him? Was he like,
that was
"Oh,
it.
what?"
He walked off. He just kind of, he says,
Oh,
"Okay." And
he's
I
like,
said, "No, yeah." That was a trip.
That's really, really funny.
Yeah, that was a funny moment. But
Yeah,
now I get to tell everybody that I'm a food photographer, and I
does that
love
feel
saying
so
it.
good?
I say it with pride, and I'll talk about it if you want to listen. If not, that's okay. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm doing
Love
something
it.
that I'm very proud of.
Good.
Yeah,
You should be so proud of it.
I am. Thank you.
I remember having conversation with people. How many of you guys in the comments have had those conversations with people in the grocery store?
Oh
Because
my God, it's
my
so
people,
funny.
they'll be like, "Oh, what are you making today?" Like, what?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I'm like, I got my business order and then I got my personal order, you know, and they're like,
Yes.
"What? So
Yeah.
you're making cake?"
Yeah.
No. Or, you know, or yeah, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and this. And
It's fun.
it
And
is
there's
it's
so
fun.
many people that get to benefit. My husband takes everything down to Starbucks. He sits at Starbucks every morning with his buddies, and if I don't bring something down in a week, they're like, my husband's like, they need something. They need the goods. So yeah,
So what kind of recipes are you doing for your clients?
a lot of desserts. They all know I love desserts. I love desserts. I'm a sweet person. So I have done a couple of, savory, but they know I like the sweet stuff. So
Oh,
they give me the sweet stuff.
what have
Yeah.
been some of your favorites?
Oh man. I've kind of liked them all. I did a hazel. Okay, so I have one client that she trusts me completely, and we actually kind of like collaborate, which is like, I don't know if that's unheard of, but um, I get to have an opinion on how we decorate things.
Yeah.
And so that's coming up in the fall. It was a 3-tiered hazelnut torte. So that was a good one. I've made a strawberry crunch cake that was really good. I just did some apple peanut butter blondies that were really good.
So
They're all
I
good.
just had to look up a hazelnut torte because I'm like, what is this?
Is my picture there? No, I'm just kidding. And probably, I don't know. No, she hasn't put it up yet. So.
Okay. I was like, I don't know which one.
Yeah. But I
did you help
candied.
create the recipe?
I did not help create it, but it was an older content, and
Okay.
she just needed updated pictures. And I wanted
Just
to do
like talk through
something.
the styling and
The
stuff.
styling, and I wanted to do
Mhm.
something a little different for the tops. And because it was hazelnut, I asked her, would she mind if I candied hazelnut and made hazelnut spikes? I'd never made caramel and hazelnut spikes, so I did it, and I learned something new, and it was beautiful. I was
You
really
are
proud of that.
making. Oh, I can't wait to see those photos. You're gonna be
Yeah,
sending
it's
me.
exciting. I'm always excited to post. One of my questions in my questionnaire is, do you mind if I post on Instagram to help, get people to your blog? And they're like, oh yeah, sure. So I'm always excited when I see a photo go up and I can promote them and get people to their blogs.
And you're like,
for
look,
the
I did
recipes.
that.
Look, I did that. Yeah, it's
Oh
fun.
gosh. So how did you
Yeah.
come up with that candied Candied hazelnut idea?
I don't know. I dream about food. I dream about when I have a client recipe, I go to bed dreaming about it and how I can, I dream about styling and
Yeah.
all of that. So I'm thinking, how can I make this stand out?
Yeah.
And I just thought of, oh, I watch a lot of Food Network. So I remember the caramel. I remember them doing that. It's like, you know what? I'm going to try that. This is perfect.
Well,
And she went for it and she liked the idea. And
that's great.
so I showed her and she said, yeah, go for it.
It's awesome. You
So
have those clients who
I'm lucky.
trust
Yes,
you like
yeah,
that. Yeah, that's great.
so it's fun.
So Kathy has a couple of questions, and I think you kind of just answered this about, do you have to get photo approval from the client? Like, Kathy, are you referring to like whenever she shares it on social, or
I think I know what she means.
Okay.
Like, I never take a photo and say, is this what you want? Because it gives them an opportunity to
Okay.
not critique it, but to tell you that they're hiring you because they trust you. They've seen your portfolio and they're trusting you, you know.
Yeah.
I want to backtrack a little bit. When I get hired, I always go through the client's blog to look at their style because I want to match their styling. A lot of it's older content.
Hope you guys are taking notes.
And so you want to kind of go to their newer content and see what their style is. And so that's how I kind of come up with the styling idea. So no, I do not run the pictures by them. I ask them if it's okay to do something, but I never share my photos before I've had a chance to invoice them. And yeah.
Okay.
I just feel it just lends to maybe possible issues, and I don't want to have issues.
Okay. So how did you get your first client? So we talked about that a little bit towards the beginning, but can you talk about what that experience was like for you again?
So as soon as like 30 minutes after I got announced in the Buyers Club, they saw my portfolio, because there was a link to my portfolio. And then she reached out to me.
Yeah.
I had my email and she reached out to me and said, are you available? And
so you didn't even post in the Buyers Club at all?
No.
It was just your grad announcement?
It was the grad announcement. Then when I had I think it was 2 or 3 weeks off, then I took pictures and I posted them in the Buyers Club and said, hey, I'm a new grad and, here's my email and my portfolio, and inquiries happened that way as well.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So what advice do you have for maybe new grads who are watching and they're doing recreations?
Yeah.
How would you advise them to, so Kathy, all clients, we have the Buyers Club, and the clients, our grads post in the Buyers Club for clients. So Kelly, what advice do you have for new grads who are doing recreations and they're posting, and maybe they posted once and they didn't get any responses?
You have to post, because as people are posting, your message kind of gets bogged down a little bit, because people are posting. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to post your best picture. Make it the ooey gooey, the best picture you can. Photos, Canva is great, and tell them that you have availability. And I also suggest to have a pricing sheet, because this is one of the things that I learned. When people were asking me my rates, I would just email them back this nice letter. And I thought, well, that's not very professional. So I made a pricing sheet in Canva. It's free. And I posted, my best pictures on there and my rates and my email. And that's what I give out to clients now.
Yeah, that's great.
You want to show and you want to show your best work. You want to be professional. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I think too is to remember, yes, you have your portfolio. But it's okay to keep working, and just because, I mean, when you're building your portfolio, you're really focused, right? And so it's like
Yes.
afterwards, it's like, give yourself some time to just have fun and play and be creative. And sometimes doing those shoots, you end up creating some really beautiful photos. Spend some time on like the drips, spend some time on like the yummy stuff that stops the scroll, the gooey chocolate chip cookies, and go for like the gooiness and that yummy, because that's what stops the
That's what
scroll. Because
sells.
that's what stops your scroll
That's
whenever
what
you're
stops
scrolling
me.
when you're when it's 11 o'clock at night and you're supposed to be sleeping, right? But you're on, and those are the photos that stop your scroll. And so that's what you want to be putting in front of bloggers as well, right?
And it's not wasted time. If there's a little bit of downtime, use it to keep practicing. Always shoot. When I get time, I try to shoot. I want to update my portfolio because I'm getting better, from even my portfolio days. And
you better have.
I better, right? So I want to keep my portfolio updated as well. So I've only had time to do one, but it's something.
That's great. So Kathy has a follow-up question: is how do you get a client to pay you for a photo they haven't seen yet?
That is the trust bond between a client and a photographer. The only thing I can say is make sure that what you deliver is as good, if not better, than your portfolio. And when I invoice a client, I always tell them if there's a problem, if there was a shot I didn't get, let me know so I can make it better. And I've been fortunate that I have not had that problem, and I always get good feedback from my clients. But I always offer, if there's a problem or something, how can I make it better? I will bend over backwards, to make sure. And because like when I do cookies or desserts, I never give it away until after I invoice the client. The client has seen the photos, and that way I don't have to make something again, because I've had to do that before. So I've learned to keep everything fresh and not give it away until after I hear from the client that everything's okay.
I've made that mistake before too.
Yeah, it's terrible, and you eat the cost, but it's learning. It's all about learning all of this stuff.
So Kathy, I'll follow up with that as well. So there's a couple of things. One, it's the Buyers Club. So bloggers come to the Buyers Club because they know photographers have been trained to work for food bloggers. So we don't just let anybody walk in off the street. Even if they have 20 years of experience, we want them to go through training. So we're all on the same page. There's a level of expectation that bloggers have. Bloggers don't want photographers, even if they've got 20 years of experience, walking in off the streets. They are looking for something very specific. So you have that trust factor of the Buyers Club. Two, you also, that's why those portfolios are so important.
Yes.
And it's so good. And we help students develop those portfolios, because that's what we put in front of grads when Kelly graduated, is we gave them a link to her portfolio. And so they were able to click on that portfolio and go through it, and they say, that work is going to be consistent with my blog. I like her style. I like the work that she does. I am going to hire her to do some work for me. And then it's up to the photographer to make sure that you are delivering the same amount of quality or higher, right?
Always higher.
Always higher.
Always higher.
Yeah. So, and then in the industry, whenever you're new, typically you're getting invoiced, ahead of time. After an established relationship is built, that might change. I know photographers working on bloggers team, and the pay lines up with the bloggers pay schedule.
Right.
And so there's just kind of a few different ways, but usually whenever you first start working with a blogger, it's typical that the blogger will pay. And then if the photos aren't great, then the blogger might, or something like went crazy, the blogger might ask for a reshoot.
Yeah.
So,
And I just,
I hope
I would die if that ever happened. I think I'd be crushed. So I work really hard to make sure that that does not happen.
yeah,
You know, I do not
good.
want to have to do a reshoot.
It's
You know,
not fun.
no, it's
Not
not.
fun.
And I tell you, I have coaches in my ear. I have Redonda in my ear saying, that can't touch. No kissing, no kissing. I have Lindsay in my ear, wipe that bowl, wipe that bowl. So even after graduating, you know, they've made an impact, you know, and
Yeah, good.
I just want to make sure I deliver the best that I can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
And I'll tell
I'm
you too. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a
no, I'm
seven
trying
to
to open.
ten. Oh,
No, I'm trying to open up your gallery and it won't let me.
oh.
Let me see
I
if
have
I.
a 7 to 10 day um, window when I deliver, and it's great because some days you just don't feel it. So I like to deliver within that 7 days, but then you know my clients know that it's 7 to 10 days, and it's amazing because some days your creative juices are flowing and other days you're just not feeling it. So
Yeah,
you're
that's
giving
good. You.
yourself permission to not shoot a day when you're not, because it's going to show in your pictures. If
Yeah.
you aren't feeling it, it's going to show, and things are going to go wrong, and you're going to spill things, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah, it's there we go. It opened finally. Yes. It's making me hungry. It's dinner
I know.
time.
Yes, it's same here.
Here's another question is, are you able to update your personal portfolio or social media with your images from recreations or exclusives?
So I have not asked my clients if I can use their photos in my portfolio. I don't think that they would mind if I did. I just haven't asked, you know.
Yeah.
And for my social, yes, they know that I'm going to take one or two of their images because it's promoting them. I mean, I have a small following on Instagram, and if I can get one or two people over to her blog,
Yeah.
then I've done my job. You
I
know,
think
because
I think that if they let you use it on social, the portfolio would probably be okay
yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're,
That's pretty typical that bloggers would let you put it in your portfolio, like a couple
yeah,
photos in your portfolio.
right, right,
So you can continue to attract new clients and stuff.
absolutely, yeah. And they can, and you know, because there's so much work. I mean, there's so many different and I do like desserts. You know, I mean, I followed the portfolio criteria, but I really do love desserts, and I want my
Mhm.
I want my portfolio to show that I like doing the
Oh,
desserts.
it sure does. Keto. Well, I love how
Yeah,
you swirled the sugar in the ingredient shot. Did you
that
sell this
is
to anybody?
that is I think it's my signature shot. I do it for all my clients too. I've never been told not to, so it's kind of my
What
little signature thing.
what with your swirl and
With a
the sugar?
swirl, yeah.
I
Hmm.
love that. Yeah,
I
no.
started that when I was a student.
Um, I
You know,
love.
you always want something that to stand out. You always want something of yours to stand out, and that was just one of the ways that I could maybe stand out.
I love this pink cake. You know what I'm gonna suggest to you?
What's that?
I just ordered a second one because my first one broke. Is a clear KitchenAid bowl.
Yeah. I have one.
Is
It's
it?
packed away right now.
It's packed away.
It's packed
Sure.
away. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you are a photographer and you don't have a clear KitchenAid bowl,
It
it
makes
is
a world of difference.
it it makes a world of difference
Yeah,
because the
it does.
light just passes right through
Yes.
and you don't have to worry about any shadows that are in
Shadows.
there or trying to brighten things up
Yeah,
and
which I
editing.
do.
Like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
my
So I
gosh.
can't wait to get it back.
Yes. I know mine
Yeah,
broke and because it's a little bit heavier. So I
it
think this
is.
like the spout would kind of hit the sink And one time it just cracked, didn't notice it. And then, the next time it hit it broke. And I waited a while to replace it. And then I was like, I'm going to make cookies. I can't make cookies without a clear kitchen. I can't photograph it without that.
I know.
Oh,
So,
goodness gracious.
That's coming.
Good. Do you send your clients to do you send them a contract before you start a project?
I was afraid this was going to come up. This is just me. I've been very fortunate. I do not have contracts because I just know my clients. I do have one client that she sent me one of hers. So we do have a contract. That's her contract between, between us.
Yeah.
But I just haven't worked with it. I just didn't need a need for it.
Yeah.
I don't have a need for it right now.
That's
probably not what you want to hear because it's tricky. Its wording is tricky. I don't like reading them.
I don't know. Yeah. We talk about, Tia covers like contracts a little bit inside of the business module about what, and it gives information and allows you to make your own choice. And that's one thing that it's the photographer's choice. It's, it's between the photographer and the blogger. It's because nobody works for Pretty Focus. You guys have your own businesses.
Right.
And so when it comes to that, I would think that if you're doing recreations and a blogger is hiring you on, they might want to send you a contract.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
instead
what
of you sending, instead of you giving them a contract but if you're doing like selling exclusives from a shop, you might want to give a photo release or that type of thing that way. So it depends on the type of work I think that you do.
Yeah. And right now, like I said,
and what the blogger is comfortable with.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. So anyway, yeah. So you guys, thank you so much. We went over tonight and we could probably keep going.
Oh, this has been fun.
Because it is so fun talking to you, Kelly, and then everybody's leaving comments and stuff in the comments. Everybody's commenting. It's always so fun to have people part of the conversation and everything. So
I can't wait to read them and answer. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see them on the side? You can't see them on the side?
Yeah, Farina just I can see.
Yeah. Okay, good. Is a white colored KitchenAid mixer best? I have a red one. Personally.
I have a red one too, but I have a white one too that somebody didn't want. And
okay.
Well, no, she was a friend of mine. She was a friend of mine, and she offered it to me, and I said yes because I love white anything. White just photographs nice. Red is I don't know. It's a kind of an editing nightmare for me, so I do white. But I don't put the mixer in the photos. I just do the bowls.
Oh, okay. I'll put I put that mixer front and center. That mixer is right there. And so I mean, I have red, and I think bloggers are okay with that. I think they're okay with the color. I think they're okay. I think a lot of people have color KitchenAids and stuff. And so
communicate. You say it all the time. Communication. Just communicate everything. When you're in doubt, ask.
Yeah.
Because it's going to save you a huge headache later on.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. If you have a colored KitchenAid, you and you're working on your portfolio, put it in there. Put it in your photos. When you start working with clients, just be like, hey, it's a blue KitchenAid. Is that okay? Are you okay with that?
That's it.
And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. Or it's going to be yes or no. That's it. Right.
They're probably not going to be like, I'm going to need you to buy a $400 white KitchenAid.
Yeah. Right.
If you don't have a KitchenAid and you're looking at buying one, because you can probably write it off, talk to your CPA. I can't give legal advice. And you just, I don't know.
Just always ask.
I don't know.
And
I
with
think
the cost of things too are going up, and I just always ask, hey, I can get this for this much, and I always try. I'm a good shopper. I don't
Mhm,
go out for the most expensive. You just have to ask. I got
mhm.
this terrible light coming in.
Yeah.
um,
I think, yeah, it all comes down to communication. So
Absolutely,
if
yeah,
you're working for if you have a long-term client that you're working with and you're like, hey, I was thinking about, investing in a KitchenAid and I was wondering if there were any color preferences you had, but also make sure it also matches your kitchen,
absolutely,
because,
very
you know,
important.
also, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. I could go either way on that. I'd be like, get whatever you want, put it in there, but whatever.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
that probably wasn't very helpful.
Just ask,
I think
communicate.
yes, thank you, Kelly, for
That's it.
summarizing
Just,
that because I
just,
just talked myself
just,
in circles.
just communicate. Yeah.
Oh,
Don't
perfect.
be
All
afraid to
right.
ask. Yeah.
Oh, all right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Pretty
Thank
Focus
you.
is open for enrollment on
Yay.
Tuesday, August
Do
15th.
it. Do it
And do
scared.
it. That's
Do
right.
it
I love
scared.
it. All right,
Yeah.
you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.